You're not stuck because you're lazy. You're stuck because you've learned to survive instead of live. And survival feels responsible. It feels smart. You wake up, you work, you scroll, you sleep, repeat. That's discipline, right? That's what adults do. Except somewhere inside you, there's a voice whispering that this isn't what you thought your life would look like, and you ignore it. Because what else can you do? School taught you how to follow steps, how to wait for permission, how to believe that if you just do the right things in the right order, success will arrive like a package at your door. But nobody told you the truth. The system was never designed to make you successful. It was designed to make you useful. There's a difference. Useful people wait. Successful people decide. You've been waiting your whole life, waiting to feel ready, waiting for the right moment, waiting for certainty. And every day you wait, your brain rewards you. It tells you you're being smart, cautious, realistic. But caution isn't wisdom. It's fear dressed in logic. And you know this. Deep down, you know. Here's what they never told you. Your brain doesn't want you to succeed. It wants you to survive. And survival means staying exactly where you are. Because where you are is known. It's predictable. It's safe. Even if it's killing you slowly, it's familiar. And your brain will do everything it can to keep you there. That's why you feel stuck. You think you need more skills, more time, more money, more confidence. But that's the trap. Because there will always be something you don't have. There will always be a reason to wait. And waiting feels productive. It feels like preparation. But preparation without execution is just procrastination with a diploma. Most people spend their entire lives getting ready for a life they never start.
You tell yourself you're building something, you're learning, you're planning. But what you're really doing is delaying the moment when you have to face the possibility that you might fail. Because if you never try, you never fail. And if you never fail, you never have to admit that maybe you're not as capable as you thought. So you stay safe, you stay small, you stay stuck. And the years pass. 1 year becomes 2, 2 becomes 5, 5 becomes 10. And suddenly, you're not young anymore. You're not full of potential anymore. You're just someone who had potential once. And that realization doesn't hit you all at once. It creeps in, late at night, when you're alone. When you see someone younger than you doing what you always said you'd do. That's when it starts to hurt. You don't fear failure. You fear waking up at 40 and realizing you were always capable. You just never believed it enough to move.
Here's the rule they never taught you. Success doesn't come from being ready. It comes from deciding you're done waiting. It comes from understanding that the feeling of readiness is a lie. You will never feel ready. Not really, because readiness is something you build through action, not before it. You think successful people have something you don't: confidence, courage, clarity. But they don't. They're just as afraid as you. They just decided that fear isn't a reason to stop. It's information. It's a sign they're doing something that matters. And you've been treating fear like a red light. But it's not. It's just turbulence. It doesn't mean you're going to crash. It means you're moving. But you've been standing still for so long that movement feels wrong. It feels reckless, irresponsible. And maybe that's the saddest part. You've confused stillness with stability. You've confused comfort with peace. But comfort isn't peace. It's numbness. And numbness isn't living. It's waiting to die. You look around and you see people who seem happy, people who seem like they figured it out, and you wonder what they know that you don't. But here's the truth. They don't know anything you don't. They just stopped lying to themselves sooner.
They stopped pretending that one day things would just click, that one day they'd wake up different, that one day the universe would hand them permission. They realized no one was coming. No one was going to save them. No one was going to make it easy. So they started, messy, uncertain, afraid. And they built their life in motion, not in their head. You've been building your life in your head, and in your head, it's perfect. In your head, you're successful, you're confident, you're free. But in your head is where dreams go to die. Because a dream that stays in your head is just a fantasy. And fantasies don't require courage. They don't require sacrifice. They don't require you to become someone new. But you know what does? Reality. Reality requires you to let go of the person you've been pretending to be, the person who's going to do it someday, the person who's just waiting for the right time. That person doesn't exist. That person is a shield, a way to protect yourself from the vulnerability of actually trying. And maybe that's why you're here, because part of you is tired of hiding. Part of you wants to stop pretending. Part of you is ready to admit that you've been afraid. And that's okay. Fear isn't the problem. Pretending you're not afraid is. You don't need to be fearless. You need to be honest.
Honest about what you want. Honest about what's stopping you. Honest about the fact that you've been choosing comfort over growth every single day. And that's a choice, not a circumstance, a choice. You keep waiting for life to feel different, but life doesn't change. You do. And you won't change by thinking about it. You'll change by doing the thing that scares you, by starting before you're ready, by failing and trying again, by becoming the kind of person who doesn't wait for permission, because permission isn't coming. No one's going to tell you it's time. No one's going to validate your dreams. No one's going to make it safe. And the longer you wait for that, the longer you stay exactly where you are. And where you are isn't neutral. It's not harmless. Every day you stay here, you're making a decision. You're deciding that this is enough, that you are enough. Not in the empowering way, in the settling way. You're deciding that the life you have is the life you deserve. And maybe it is. Or maybe you've just been too afraid to find out what else is possible. The clock doesn't stop. The world doesn't wait. And one day, sooner than you think, you'll run out of time to become who you could have been. And when that day comes, you won't remember the things you tried and failed at. You'll remember the things you never tried at all.